What is up, guys? Alex here. Here I have this MSI GE66 Raider laptop. Yeah, in this video I'll be reviewing these laptop, talking about, its specs, if it's good or not. Should you get it if you're looking, for a PC, but that's also portable if you like to travel a lot, but it's also, fast, and it's not like a Mac, sort of basis like that. But basically, I'll just be talking about its specs, the display and stuff like that, the graphics card, the CPU that it has, the storage, pretty much all the specs that it comes with. But without further ado, let's get on into the video. So, first of all, specs. As I said before, this laptop has a 2070 Super, an RTX2070 Super. Again, pretty cool graphics card. Now, I'm gonna mention that a little bit later, but the processor i7-10705H, which is a 10th generation i7 processor with 6 cores. Again, super cool processor. I'm pretty sure it can definitely handle this RTX graphics card. It has a pretty nice design as well. Now, when it comes to storage and memory, you can upgrade those too. It comes with 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, 2066, I think, or 2666 megahertz of speed and memory. Not the fastest DDR4 RAM, but it's RAM. You can upgrade it to 32 gigabyte or 64 gigabytes, of course, but you have to maintain the same speeds, unless you have to buy another kit of a 64 32 that comes with faster megahertz speeds and stuff like that. You can also upgrade the RAM or the storage, because it comes with 1 terabyte, but you can upgrade it to up to 4 terabytes because it has 2 M.2 slots. Of course, if you decide to do this, you're gonna be taking or getting rid of the manufacturer's warranty by opening up the computer. If you decide to change when it comes to changing the M.2 that's in here up to 4 terabytes, if you want it up to that or not. But those are basically the main specs that you should really know about. You can change it up to 32 or 64 gigabytes of RAM, maintaining the same speeds with the ones that it came with, or you can change up the storage up to 4 terabytes of NVMe or M.2 slots, because it does come with two. It's gonna be a little bit pricey, but you can 100%, if you in the future, if this is gonna be your main laptop in the future, you can 100% change it to that. Overall design, I really like the design from this laptop. You have the MSI logo up here in the front. Now, another really cool feature that it has, you see these holes right here? These are to take or the hot air to push the hot air out, which is makes your computer overall colder and keeps the temperature overall low, which is what you want in your computer. It has 2 in the front, which I'm guessing these 2 take out the oxygen, and then 2 on the side that bring in cold air, right? I don't know why I'm saying oxygen, but bringing cold air, and then these 2 fill like the air goes into like all the components, and then back here it pushes it out, the cold or the hot air, not maintaining the hot air within the computer, which can cause slow performance and high temperatures, which is really cool. The monitor, of course, is 240 hertz, 15.6 inches, full HD, so it's not 4K, but it does have that 240 hertz. So if you're a pro gamer, or if you have a tournament or something, and like your grandparents' house, you can use this with an external keyboard, right, to play your tournament or something, because it has a 240 hertz monitor, which is what most pros sort of use nowadays when they're playing in competitive and stuff like that, which is again super duper cool. Really like the design. The temperatures maintain relatively low when it comes to the graphics card and the CPU and stuff like that, which is again really cool. No pun intended. Now, the ports. So it comes with 3 USB 3.2 gen USBs. So again, the latest gen of USBs, which is again super cool. It comes with a micro SD slot for you to I guess upgrade the storage or something like that. I don't really know, but it does come with that. And then it comes with a mini or a mini display port. I don't know what that's for, and USB Type-C as well, which again super duper cool. And to charge this laptop, it comes with a battery, or the charger is a USB Type-C charger, which is again really cool. I love the design from this laptop. The fans that blow the air out, or the hot air out, and then the other ones that take in the air in. And the laptop just looks really nice overall with the MSI logo that it has here in the front just makes it look nice and simple and cool. Another thing that I like about it is that it has this RGB sort of like LED, if you guys can see right here on the bottom, that adds, you know, to the design on it. Sort of wish this LED would have been on the back, like right here on the top, right? Because you're really not gonna be looking at this, you know, a lot, but it looks just way better up here because this right here looks plain, you know, it's just blowing out the hot air and stuff like that. So if they put it somewhere around right here, it would have looked just 10 times better, because in order for somebody to see it, they're gonna have to come around and you're gonna, you know, show it to them like that. But if they look from you or in front of you, they're gonna see the RGB and it's just gonna look 10 times better. That's, I mean, you can have it, but isn't the main purpose of RGB to like show off? So I don't understand whether you would put it like this or if you're gonna use this laptop, you know, like, which would have looked way better. The keyboard is also has RGB. I'm pretty sure this is a Steel Series keyboard. I'm pretty sure they did a, you know, collab with MSI, but it is a Steel Series keyboard, and the keyboard itself is not that bad. You can definitely use it, you know, for gaming. Wouldn't say it's the best keyboard out there. Of course you can always connect an external, you know, better keyboard to the laptop, but this one works for sure. As I said, with the RGB strip, it should have been here in the front. It looked way better because this right here looks a little bit plain, or at least in my opinion. With that RGB, it would have looked a little bit better. I don't know why they had it in the front, but I don't know. Again, the fans that blow out the hot air, you can boost these, right, which I'm gonna mention later on in the video when I'm in the game test and dubbing over it. But yeah, I really like this laptop overall. One thing I don't like for a laptop like this is that it doesn't have Thunderbolt 3. You know, a lot of laptops that I've been looking for, I want them to have Thunderbolt 3, so because, you know, you can add accessories to it and it just makes it overall better. This one doesn't have it, so it doesn't have the max speed when it comes, you know, to that. I mean, if you're gonna add accessories to this laptop, then yeah, go ahead, you need it, but it doesn't have it, which is one feature that I don't like about it. Okay, now one thing I do want to mention is the display. It's a 240 watt display, or no, 240 hertz display. Now this shouldn't have it higher than this. This is 100% fine, of course. If it was 144, you would have to change it in the future or get a, you know, an external one that connects separately for a 240 hertz. But the fact that they had a 240 hertz display, so you don't have to change it in the future, is really cool. Now this is an RTX 2070 Super. This is not a 3090 or a 3080, because if it wasn't 3080, they would need a 360 hertz display to run the max capacity of that graphics card, or when it comes to Fortnite in that sense. But with this RTX 2070 Super, I have the same graphics card. When I play Fortnite, my frames, they usually stay at a 240 hertz, but my monitor is 60, so I lower it down to 60, of course. But with this one, you can play games like Fortnite, Control, Assassin's Creed on it, and it's 100% fine. Now you can of course lower the resolution of those games and overall quality, so you can have higher frames, or you can have ray tracing on, and, you know, have, I guess, not a stable 60, but you can have those frames when you have ray tracing on, because this is an RTX graphics card. So the display is 100% fine. You don't need higher than this for an RTX 2070 Super. It can 100% run all your games. Now, if it was a higher graphics card, like a RTX 2080 Ti, or maybe even a 3080, maybe, then yeah, you would need a higher, you know, refresh rate for the monitor, so you run at the highest frames. So cooling. In the beginning of the video, I said that the two on this side, you know, take in air, and then the ones on the back excrete air, but that's actually wrong. See, the way I saw it is that the ones on the bottom, you know, how are they supposed to take in air when they're always on the, you know, the bottom and stuff like that? Wait, yes, but there, if you guys can see right here, they do have holes for the, you know, fans. So I always thought that, you know, how is it supposed to take in air from the bottom if it can't, if it's always, you know, on a desk and stuff like that? So how is it supposed to? But in fact, all the ones from the side and from the back taking hot air out, keeping your computer or this laptop relatively cold. I really like what MSI did with the fans. You can of course use Dragon Center, which is a software that you can download on this laptop to control the fans. You can set it to automatic, so when, you know, the temperatures reach above like 70 or 80, the fans speed up and, you know, cool down the graphics card and the overall components within the laptop. These laptop said it has sound dual wave or something like that, which I'm pretty sure is just surround sound with the speakers. Of course, it's not gonna be the best as if you have headphones on, but you know, I don't know, the sound is pretty loud. It's not that bad. You can definitely hear your game or your video if you have it on it. But yeah, that's a little bit of the sound. Now, image and audio. So my dad did a test when it comes to the frontal camera of this. Of course, frontal camera is not gonna have a back camera, but my dad did a video testing out this camera quality and the microphone sound. Now, when it comes, the air does get in, or you know, from the microphone, the fan blowing does, you know, get in a little bit. But you can use the Dragon Center to, you know, noise cancel the microphone so that, you know, the sound of the fan going doesn't get into your microphone. And you can also use NVIDIA Broadcast, which is in since you have an RTX graphics card, you can use this to, you know, also noise cancel your microphone when it comes, you know, to like the laptop. But the, you know, the video quality and the microphone quality is not that bad, and it's sort of like, you know, it has to be there. It's common sense. These laptops are gonna get hot, you know what I mean? And if you're streaming with this, you can always add an external microphone to this and use it like that. Or just your headset microphone, you can also use it like that. But if you don't have one, you can use the laptop's one, and you know, you can also noise cancel it via the Dragon Center, noise cancel the fans, or use RTX voice, you know, to do that as well. But again, really like what they did. Again, common sense, these laptops are gonna get hot, so the fans are still gonna be blowing out hot air tremendously, and the fans are gonna get louder. So it's just common sense to have that. Now, battery, this is a little bit tricky. Multimedia, it lasts you up to 7, maybe even 8 hours. But if you want to play video games, it's like you're obligated to connect it, you know, to a source. And it's not just that. When you disconnect it and you want to play video games without the charger, it uses the internal graphics in the you know, the motherboard. I think it uses the internal graphics in the motherboard, or I think the processor, right, to run your games, and this lowers the FPS down immensely. So you do have to connect it, you know, via power, because not just that the graphics card uses a lot of power, is the game uses a lot of power, because it's gonna get hot. And then you have things like, you know, the brightness, you know, consuming battery. You have the fans running, also consuming battery. You have the RGB on the side, also consuming battery. Now you can turn these things off, especially the RGB. Don't really recommend turning off the fans though. But if you want to play video games with this laptop, which is what your main thingy is for, then you should 100% have it connected all the time to a power source. But if you're gonna do something regular, like, you know, fill out a Google Doc or something, or text your friends on Discord or something, then you can disconnect it and use it wherever you want. But if you're gonna play video games, then you always want to have it connected, or it's gonna switch graphics to the internal graphics instead of using that RTX 2070. So that's a little bit tricky on that part. And it's not just the fact that they switch, is that the fact that they're trying to maintain the laptop on at the same time as running your games. So overall, if you want to use this and play video games with this with the internal graphics, you can, but it's not really recommended. The FPS drop down like a lot. Like the FPS drop down so much that it's playable, but like at 30 frames basically, like around that area. So if you really want to use this, always have it connected, you know, via, you know, always have a power source to it, so it's always, you know, connected. Really good. And if you're probably mainly going to use this for gaming, but you can also just disconnect this and do regular schoolwork or Google Docs or text your friends on it, you know, without having to play video games. But needless to say, this still can play video games, and it's still somewhat portable, being the charger is super huge. This is playable, and you can definitely play video games on it. Just remember that you always have to have it connected for you to use that RTX 2070 Super. So battery wise, that is a little bit tricky. In conclusion, should you get this laptop? Yeah, one problem I had with it is that I felt the monitor was too small, but you know, in that case, it may be different for you. For me, I feel like the monitor was a little bit just too small, so that's probably why I'm gonna be returning this. But other than that, this laptop is really good. The RGB is good. The battery, it's also good, you know, of course, disconnecting that RTX 2070 in order for the battery to run good. You know, it's a little bit of an issue, but a lot of people may use this laptop just, you know, to fill out Google Docs, but just because they want it, as like a powerful laptop with an i7 10th generation and an RTX 2070 Super, of course. Now, if you're not playing video games, I'm pretty sure that the RTX 2070 Super will still run in the background, or it'll still run, of course. But you get max like playtime like 3 hours pretty much without it, without it connected to a power source, using the internal graphics. Again, the RAM is also not the fastest speeds, and it has 1 terabyte of storage that you can always change in the future. So should you get this, if you're looking for a fast laptop that has pretty good specs, 32 gigabytes of RAM, 2666, not the fastest speeds, but still 32 gigabytes of RAM, of course. Comes with an RTX 2070 Super. So should you get this in an i7 10705H, yeah, you should get this. It's a powerful laptop. It can definitely run your games. It can run stuff that you want. You can definitely render videos on it. It is a little bit pricey though. I'm pretty sure I got this one for like $1,700 on it on Amazon, or $1,500, around that price. But you can 100% get this. You can always change the NVMe like space, because it brings 2 slots, and you can change it up to 4 terabytes, or maybe just have 2 or 3. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.